Right, so the new TaylorMade Qi10 driver is out. We're here at the Kingdom and I'm going to have a fitting with Meandmygolf. Now, Stealth 2 was arguably the best I've ever driven the golf ball. So this is a tough task to see if this is actually going to be a better driver for me. Let's get in there, let's get started.
So Trotty, I think you got your work cut out today. Piers is probably hitting his driver the best that I've seen, and obviously your fit last time was a big contributor to this. So
there's a little contributor.
A small tiny, like 1%.
The thing is, to be fair to Piers, you adjusted, didn't you, as a player?
Yep.
And you weren't a good driver of the golf ball. We've said this in the past. We said it on the former video. We went on a golf trip, play a lot of golf together, so that makes this a bit easier for me. And I'd hammered you for a while.
Yep.
You got to lose one side of the golf course. You got to deliver it differently, and you've done that.
Yep.
Seeing loft, you've changed your mind on that. You now want to see less loft, which is brilliant. So credit to the player. All right. You say to me this is good, it is good, but a lot of the tech in the new stuff here, and I'm going to give you a bit of science and a bit of tech on this now. The QI actually stands for quest for inertia. It's talking about moment of inertia. Moment of inertia is your off-center strikes. The blade is not going to twist as much. So I dare say we'll have this scenario with tour players throughout 2024. I love my driver. I love my gamer. I love it. It happens every week. Of course you do. But at the end of the day, if you can find yards or accuracy on an off-center strike, which is what the tech, and I'm holding here the Max. I want you to take a look at that one. But that's what the tech is all about. Certainly in the Max. That one is going to give you...
Big head, that one.
Exactly. But a large head with the mass at the edges means that you're less likely on an off-center strike for it to twist. This driver will go straighter. So if you're someone who struggles with strike, that's the way to go. Now, there's a projection of the CG, so all this is carbon. There's more carbon in this than ever before. This weight back here is where all of the mass sort of comes, the centre of gravity comes into play. But what it projects through the loft in the face, and bear with me here, it's where the CG projects through the loft on the face. We talked about in the last video, the relationship to tee height, the relationship to club delivery is what gives you the golf shot. If we put Piers into that one, then he's going to probably not have as much speed. If we put him into this one, which is the Qi10 core model, he also wouldn't. So really, because he's so efficient on where he's at with Stealth 2, we're going to go with this one, which is LS, low spin. But that CG projection for any gearheads out there...
Smaller head, this one?
Fractionally from the top smaller, looking down, yes. But obviously the weight is put in different places, so the CCs aren't that much different. But where that CG goes through the face is now more similar to what he's playing.
What he's got.
And you know where I'm at with this. I don't want to change golf shaft. Yes, he's hitting it well. It's an exact tour scenario. The guy's driving the golf ball well. All right, he's only delivered us on that one, which looked like maybe a toe hit, wasn't it?
Yeah, a little bit toe.
So we're at 166 to put the marker down. The spin was at 2300, but you did have a really good club speed. He's been loosening up a little while. He had 116 club speed. Okay. But your launch and your smash factor, which is a big number from full swing, that is the energy transfer through the blade, was down at 1.4, 1.44. Okay. So that's pretty low.
That's low.
Okay. So always remember
1.5 we're aiming for on that.
If you can get 1.5 the energy out of what you put in, great. Always make a memory. Trust me, I've got plenty of tour stories where I've forgotten the setting when I've gone in.
Need to hear those.
I used to basically bang like a Sharpie mark or a Tipex mark or a whiteout mark on where it was coming out. Again, tour players are so precious about all that.
825, that's set.
Yeah, you got hooked on that earlier, which I love. I don't know the true loft on this demo head, but there's a lot you can read into this. Obviously, I made this one, so I know where things are. But we've got a lot of weight, 15 grams towards the toe, taking out the left side. Okay, so bang this one in.
And that's the most important thing. When you go for a fitting, make sure before you have your fitting that you know which side of the fairway, or sorry, which side of the golf course you want to get rid of. For me, it was the left.
And that's made a big difference for you, isn't it? Confidence for you to just hit it hard without fear of it going
Freedom, hitting it hard. Yeah, beautiful.
So before you look at the player's view, which you will, if we look here, and again, maybe I wouldn't explain this in a fitting I'd just give it you and we'd go. But I've left that movable weight neutral. I've gone in exactly the same position. You were like 8.25. I don't know the actual loft on the starting blade, but you know what? I'm going to know it in a minute.
We'll know in a minute.
Because we're going to see it and get a feel for it.
Yeah.
Energy transfer is what I'm going to grab on here. If I normalise these numbers, 274 today on the normalise and 301 total. They're the two numbers I want you guys out there to remember. Okay. 274, 301. But it wasn't a great hit, that first hit.
Yeah, you've hit some better ones than that one in the warm-up.
Yeah. That was, yeah, it looks nice. Looks cleaner. Whether that's a good thing, I don't know yet.
He's done well.
Yeah,
He's
no, he
changed
has.
a lot.
His driving's like 10 times better.
It's becoming an asset rather
Yeah,
than
it is,
something
yeah.
that hurts
Yeah,
him.
for sure.
Yeah.
That was high toe.
Good shot though still.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hit
There
the
you go,
fence down the
Brownie.
back.
There you go. Like,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't need to say anything else here.
Look at the energy, look at the smash on
But
that.
you as a coach have just gone, well, hang on a minute. So that was horrific.
Yeah.
But you as a coach,
I wouldn't say it was horrific, would you?
it wasn't as a
horrific.
result, but we know
the
what
toe,
he's
the
capable
toe strike, of
of.
course, yeah.
And
of
that
course.
was miles away from what you're capable of.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, for sure.
And that's
What did he do?
2,500 on a 268 carry because you did tow it, 293. So if I normalise it, you're still 293. There's not much wind or any adjustment out here. Your club speed was down because
Yeah.
it was a poor strike, and your ball speed was at 160.
Okay. Similar.
Yeah, that
A bit
looks
high
toey
toe,
for
but
sure.
you can see it's a bit more knuckly.
There's no spin on that one. No.
So you've got to keep that. That's a good number. You've got to keep going here. Like, so that's given us 1,800 spin. I'd say that's pretty accurate. It's given us a high launch of 13. You have to keep you when you fit. You've got to find what the true reflection is before I dive into the golf.
Of course, yeah.
But 2 poor hits.
Yeah.
You play in the golf.
Oh yeah.
You go if it's a long par 4, you're going in with a mid iron.
Yep.
We're
Yeah.
in great shape.
Yeah.
And that is what people need to understand. When we're fitting this driver versus the previous model, it's about gaining that. That's a great demonstration of it.
I think the key thing there is, and it's not about just going, what are the good ones doing all the time and how good can we fit this for a good shot? It's like, yes, we want the good one to be optimum, but what's it like on the crappy ones?
What's it like on
You've
the
hit
dodgy
2 great shots there
Yeah.
that actually you're going to be really happy with. The first one you hit was still long,
Yeah.
even though it was a poor strike.
That's
The
what you
truth
want
is-
when you're on a fitting. You just need to make sure, absolute, those dodgy ones are still okay.
The truth is, having been on this journey with TaylorMade, the reason at which we've ended up here is because tour players for a long time have had a fitting, and they follow a trend. January, February, they might play the best one that's quick out the middle, but then as time goes on, they're like, oh, hang on a minute, there's a driver out there that is more accurate. That's why you're now seeing this quest for inertia.
I think with somebody like Pearson, what he's done with his driver though, for somebody who it's so good now, it's not likely that you can come into a fitting session like this and go, I'm going to gain 20 yards carry or even 10 yards carry. It's just not likely, is it? Because of how optimum the Stealth 2 was for you.
But I'm still confident with the numbers I'm seeing here that if I can crank that loft down, I said it to you guys in the last fitting, if a player can deliver less loft, they get that energy transfer goes up and you gain yard. He hasn't had a good smash factor
No,
yet.
no.
So there's plenty of room in here.
Come on then, get one at the middle, would
Go
you?
down the middle, shall we?
Yeah, just find
I
that
like you're
centre.
going through your routine. I like that you're doing all that. Just give me something to work with.
Definitely better. Definitely better than the other two. With the left.
Speed was good, but good on that one.
Toey,
But-
Maybe a little bit. Maybe
Got to be a
bit,
little toey, yeah.
so let's move our weight out to the toe. Let's make our first adjustment. I don't want to see left. You don't want to see left either. Let's go maximum toe on that adjustable weight in the sole there now.
It's in the fade setting.
It's moving towards the toe, yeah.
Again, just want to minimise that shot that he's just hit there.
Yeah, and he's also, like, we do a little test here with, like, chasing CG. He might be trying to find where the centre of gravity
Yeah.
of the club is. Once you align the ball and the centre of gravity of the face, full send.
Yeah.
It was better,
Yep, definitely better.
but I want to see a middle hit.
Yeah, I agree.
And I also want to see the true Piers miss, the low in the blade, spinny one.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, interesting.
So, it's going left a little, like that's the second left we've seen in the last 4. I'm going to squeeze a bit of loft off here. Now, most people might not. I know that it's down at 1800 because the spin came off. So when I say 1800 to 2300, we're talking about spin rate, backspin on that golf ball. I'm actually going to move him so he sees less loft again. And the reason for that, and you see it with good players sometimes, is their reaction to the face.
Yeah.
And we know that Piers, when he sees too much loft, that's kind of how this whole story started. He tends to, not deliver a good swing.
So
the
lower
less
loft
I put
here.
in, he swings it better.
But also, it's again, is this going to open the face a little bit as well?
Correct.
Yeah.
But it's more for, I think, in this scenario, the player. Like, let's make Piers launch it higher.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
at 9.5 now. Let's make you find 12 or 13.
Okay.
Yeah, and that last one was a better hit, obviously just a close face on that one. More middle though. And that's the launch that you have been hitting it.
Not quite there yet, but that's definitely more on the launch. I feel that was still spinny again.
Okay, I love that.
12 launch on that one. That was much better.
How did you feel about the left to right deviation?
No, I'm okay with that. Bit more than I want, obviously, on that, but I'm okay if that's... I've always said with the fit now and the way that I hit it, aim at the target, well, low body to the right, but aim at the target and it's either a pull with a fade or it's a pull.
Okay.
And it might be a straight one every now and then. Fun. Don't know what you've done.
Don't need to yet. I want to just see a couple of things.
Yeah.
Got to remember, it's so early for this driver. Like, even I'm just experimenting here.
Yeah.
All right, so change tee height. I love it. He's in his tee that he wants as high as he can get.
You get those orange castle ones, Pierce.
Yeah.
That needs to get down. All right, so here's my take on this. I'm worried it's a little too low spinning.
A good shot though.
Amazing.
Thank
yeah.
you. Just want
I thought it was horrific.
I thought
that was horrific.
clarify, it was a really good shot. And no one
really
said
good.
nothing.
It's really good, really good.
Well done, Pierce.
Thank you, thank you.
283 normalised, 278. So again, there's not much in here.
Yeah.
310 total. It's saying 1.47 on the smash. I thought it looked a bit better than that.
Okay.
Spin 2100. That's what I'm worried about.
Yeah, okay.
I've put you all the way on lower now, and Proudy's just tapping the launch angle here. Yeah, I'm trying to get that up, but I'm not sure. We might have just gone a little too far. And the other thing I've done, because I actually don't want to see the wide right. I think this driver's a little hard to hit left normally. So when I went all the way down to lower, opens the blade, takes loft off, I moved that movable weight a little bit to the heel side. I might play around with that again. As I'm now adding a pinch of loft, I'm going to combine it with, it's much like the golf swing. If you change one thing, it's going to impact something else.
Got a matchup.
Yeah, I'm going to just put this just on neutral again. So see how that goes. Neutral being centered for that front weight. You're moving a lot of mass around, so you can change that.
Bit more loft on there though, is that what you've gone back
Let's
to?
pinch more. I think this is probably where we'll end up. But you are slightly down off the left. So a bit of you has to ignore the full swing and look at the ball flight.
Yeah, yeah.
But it still looks, I'd like to see it apexing a bit higher.
Yeah, that was too low.
It was hunting, wasn't it? So you apex 93 on the previous one, Piers.
Yeah.
Now you launched at this is going to be a long one on here. Attack angle was good, and it didn't quite catch the apex where I want it. So I want to see the apex going up to be, if you can get it over 100, I would love that.
Yeah, and that was the way I've talked about it, and I haven't actually done the video yet. 12th hole at the goat, par 5, dog leg right. You've got to hit it over a 100-foot tree in front of you. And for me, it's like, I'm just going to, that's what I visualize a lot when I'm playing golf. I'm going to get that right now.
Okay, so I've just thrown apex in the bottom left corner of our full swing now.
75, that last one was 75.
It was turning over though, wasn't
yeah,
it?
it was
Good
a little
point.
toey, little drop kicky. So
Yeah.
now let's see if you can get that to 100. We're going to be loving life.
Okay.
Rory's like 130. I've used that line before.
You don't want to be less than 100, Pierce, do you?
No, definitely not.
Which is why he needs to play a pinch more loft.
Yeah.
Just toe it.
That'll be the same golf shot.
Yeah. Again, even that though, I mean, if that's your left miss, that's not a bad left miss.
Toey with a 170 ball speed, 90 feet on the apex.
Yeah.
So 317 on the total. So these are good and these are in the window. Again, I might move the front weight. That's where my mind's at. But also in a fitting, I know we're obviously making content here, but in a fitting now, I might be moving to try and close it, because you get to the point where that shot comes in, a miss comes, like, he doesn't hit shots like that. Like, you've got to keep it, go through your routine, keep it like, these are important.
Yeah, yeah.
He's moving the club at 115 mile an hour. It has a toll on the body. You want to see the best golf shots of the player, you know what I mean?
Still not quite up there height-wise. Nice.
80 feet maybe, 85 feet, 89, yeah.
89.
Let's
so still
move
not
that
quite.
weight on the front.
What
I think we're getting close to where we're going to live on
How's
the
the strike there,
setting.
Pierce?
Strike was okay, still just a little bit toey. I'm just getting a bit out of toe.
9.6 launch. I mean, your launch, you've been like 13 plus, haven't you?
Yeah.
Try one thing.
I'll ask the question here as well, Trotty. When let's say you're doing this and you're struggling to get closer to the, let's say, 13.5 launch, would you entertain even looking at this one? Would this change any of the launch conditions?
It would, but I also, yeah, it'll launch a bit higher. But I also think here it's going to spin a bit more.
Okay.
And we might look at that, but I also think there's a bit of room to get this dialed.
Yeah. So
I don't think we're far off.
Explore all this until you're like, okay.
But you must remember, I know he's missed. That's why this is a bit unfair. I know.
Haven't had that miss really yet, have we?
Yeah,
Enough.
no. But
Hasn't
you're
been
going to
low.
have it when we play.
Of course.
So it's like, why would I put him into a driver on his
Yeah.
miss that's going to be 200 revs, 300 revs more?
Yeah.
That's going to really hurt him. And he does hit the miss maybe 4 out of 10 drives.
Yeah, and this is really important because it probably isn't far off 4 out of 10, which is what we're talking about. The miss is low on the bottom of the club, which means it's going to spin up. When I'm practicing and I'm hitting the balls on the range, don't often get that. I would say it's 1 out of 10.
It's a mental thing, isn't it?
So it's a golf course thing for sure.
Which, by the way, is the next phase of the fitting.
Yeah.
So that's where this maybe isn't fair. So that answers your question as to why I would stick here. Oh,
It's a better shot.
that's a great shot.
That's carrying
decent.
as well, that is, isn't it?
That's lovely.
Yeah.
I'm stoked. Do you know what I did?
What did you do?
I put you in the upright side.
Ah, interesting.
You're like the opposite on a few things. I think there's a bit more on the smash for sure.
More than just a couple of things.
320, you know what I mean? I mean, that's awesome. 90 feet, we've been talking about apex. Still a bit more to come out the blade, but I just sometimes with you, if I do something, you chase it. Like when you see less loft, you hit it higher.
Yeah.
When you see flat, I'm wondering, like, is he compensating thinking this is going to go right? So I just banged it upright because I look at it and I was like, well, I could probably play that, and I'm half your size. So I'm like, okay, let's get this upright.
To be fair, I remember M3 I hit brilliantly and I was in upright setting.
Yeah,
on that
but
one.
we've put the movable weight in the toe now.
Yeah.
So if you go upright, which again means you bring the toe closer to your nose, now left becomes in play, which is his nemesis. So then we move the CG further away from him and it combats it.
Yeah.
I think it's just playing around with feels now at this stage.
I mean, that's what you've been doing,
The
isn't
height,
it?
yeah.
And if that's your miss, that's like such
in
a
play.
good miss.
It's
And
in
that's
play.
a long miss, that is.
And it's in play. 174 ball speed.
174. 0.5.
That's brilliant, mate. 297 carry, 323. And it's 6 yards side total.
Two of the best shots, is it there?
Yeah, if you're going centre of the fairway, that is right semi after it's ran out. I used to drive the ball as long as you before we really started messing around with this. Now I can't sniff. I'm like 10, 20 behind you. Which I should be physically when you look at the speeds.
Yeah.
But it never used to be the case. So that one you squared it up a bit, well, that'll be long.
Beautiful. I mean, that's a great flight, that is.
Your feedback on that?
Yeah, good. Yeah, maybe slightly toe again.
Yeah, I thought you were going to say that. And that's why that number at the top
Yeah.
drops, the spin rates it was, and the speed drops. But Piers, 12 left on the side total.
It's not a big left miss. If you can hit that left miss on the golf course, the left miss for you used to be a snapper.
Here's a lost ball.
That's a nice long
That's
left fairway miss.
Left fairway, left
Maybe,
centre.
yeah, that was nice.
Really good, mate.
Let's go one more. Let's go one more.
So I'm confident. I mean, you say, oh, can we beat it? I think the journey is, and this year's story is, and the marketing, but I think this proves it, is about bringing it in tighter.
Yeah.
Shot for shot, is his best with that going to be as good as this? Yeah. But you know what? You don't always hit your best.
No.
I think going into the upright side of the sleeve, which people maybe
Yeah.
leave alone, is also a game changer for you.
And one thing I've worked out in my golf swing at the moment is just more upright at setup.
So that marries up.
Kind of
with that,
marries
yeah.
up with what we're saying here, doesn't
Yeah.
it? Oh, it's a shame because that was just high toe, but I actually still.
It's still a freaking bomb, isn't it?
Last year when we did that, I wouldn't have liked that height, but now.
It's 289 carry with a ball speed that's dropped 6 miles an hour.
Yeah, I think we're good, aren't we?
Yeah, I mean, where we've ended up now, sleeve setting the same as where we start. Actually, no, I went more upright, remember?
course.
Which is the lie angle based on where you're going to be in relation to you as a player. You alluded to having a different hand position, great. But in terms of the head, the loft, yeah, you know the exact on this, but the loft on this one is dictated to us by the ball flight. So we're good there. Movable weight, we may come back to moving that.
Yeah.
But we know your miss is left, so we've got that movable weight all the way out in the toe. Whoever fit this one did do a good job, so we haven't come far away from the spec.
Lucky, you got a lucky fit there, Piers.
I did, but basically, if you do look at the results, I think it really speaks volumes for the Qi10. LS low spin version is where you're going to land. There are 3 other options for different delivery, but we know Piers' miss is high spin, so LS is where you're going to live.
Happy with that?
I think it's a great thing to just showcase how important the fitting is, but how important it is to actually get the fit for your misses. So Trotty, I think that was a great fit. Guys, hope you enjoyed that. Make sure you subscribe to our channel, but check out Trotty Golf. We'll put the link in the description. He's got some great content on his channel. Make sure you do, and we'll see you next time.
Cheers, boys.
Cheers, mate.
Thanks,
Cheers, mate.